So this article also came out today from 404. Joseph Cox, he's one of the only journalists out there that has really been on top of the situation with Flock and reporting all of the things wrong with this company and all of the ways that they've abused their technology and hidden how they've abused their technology and their plans to develop this technology that they've not been forthcoming with until Joseph Cox and this other journalist from 404 Media have been exposing it. So this says Flock wants to partner with consumer dashcam company that takes trillions of images a month. So Flock, the surveillance company with automatic license plate reader cameras in thousands of communities around the U.S., is looking to integrate with a company that makes AI-powered dash cams placed inside people's personal cars. The move could significantly increase the amount of data available to Flock and in turn its law enforcement customers. Now, I would add, any other malicious actor that gets a hold of the data. 404 Media previously reported local police perform immigration-related Flock lookups for ICE, and on Monday that Customs and Border Protection had direct access to Flock systems. In essence, a partnership between Flock and a dashcam company could turn private vehicles into always-on roaming surveillance tools. Nexar, the dashcam company, already publicly publishes a live interactive map of photos taken from his dashcams around the U.S. So that's already a little bit fucked, because anybody could use that data to train an AI, and I'm sure that there's plenty of companies out there as well as maybe individual malicious actors that are already training AI on that data. And Flock almost assuredly already has, and that's probably why they're targeting this company, because they have trained on their open source photos and they know that'll work really well with their cameras. And what the company describes as crowdsourced vision, showing the company is willing to leverage data beyond individual customers using the cameras to protect themselves in the event of an accident. Dash cams have evolved from a device for diehard enthusiasts or large fleets to a mainstream product. They are cameras on wheels and are the crux of novel vision applications using Edge AI, Nexar's website says. The website adds Nexar customers drive 150 million miles a month, generating trillions of images. So you can only imagine how much more this will allow federal law enforcement to target individuals for nefarious reasons, as well as how many times how much it's going to amplify the amount of times that people are falsely investigated, falsely apprehended, because AI is usually something of a black box. We don't know how they make the decisions they make, how the model trains itself. That's sort of how it works, because I'm not super trained in this though, so I might use the wrong words, but they're basically like recursive systems. They build upon their own data, and when we press go on it and it trains itself on a million pictures, and at the end we say, hey, awesome, it's doing what we want it to do. Well, we don't know how it got from point A to point Z there. And if it's incorporating some incorrect assumptions that don't pop out in the results immediately, plus the fact that AI just often gets things wrong. Even the best computer vision model out there is far from perfect. If anybody has looked into that stuff at all, it's really neat what computer vision is able to do, but it's far worse than a person at looking at a picture and saying, oh, this is a picture of Bob Smith, for example. A machine might say that. A human can look and say, no, that's not clear enough photo, even though the machine is saying, I have 90% confidence in this. And if law enforcement is using all of these conclusions that come from machine learning, that's going to just inherently lead to more situations where people are being falsely apprehended, because things like Flock have pointed in that direction. So if you think it's bad now, where there's a lot of U.S. citizens getting apprehended by ICE, it's going to become even worse if ICE and Border Patrol are relying on machine learning to make those decisions for them. you know, um, I if I was arguing this to a cop, I'd probably tell them that like they should understand there's something weird about a box that does their job for them. Uh, I don't think any cop would tell you being a cop is easy. Uh, and like I get wanting their job to be easier, but if something sounds too good to be true, it usually is too good to be true. And if we're talking about a giant surveillance network that is going to instantly solve crimes for you and instantly point out suspicious people to you, that should sound too good to be true. Also, I work 1 day a week at a law firm. I'm not a lawyer or anything. I just do paralegal work. My understanding of, uh, you know, our system of law and justice is very much a layman's understanding, but with maybe a little bit more hands-on experience than the average person. Uh, and I would question how much of evidence produced by Flock would even be admissible in a court. If the cop had to walk through how did Flock make these decisions, and or the prosecutor has to walk through how did Flock make these decisions, and it's a black box and the prosecutor can't say, that might easily become inadmissible evidence, and very quickly something that was meant to help solve crimes has actually become a crutch and a weakness that actually blows up good prosecution. Uh, so if you think about it enough, all of these different little issues combine to make this a bad idea. Flock's already a bad idea, but combining it with trillions of images collected by individuals' cars is fucked up, honestly. And I wish that our like antitrust laws and stuff like that maybe had more of a mind to think about a company that's trying to eat up other companies and combine functionality to make this one super product that at some point that must brush up against antitrust laws. So I wonder if that could be a potential failure point and misstep for Flock moving forward, and if that's something that some of Flock's competitors could be thinking about too. It's all just interesting to me.